morning, boys and girls. I wanted to share a family favorite with you today and also bake something that happens in the book. My story today is called Elliot Bakes a Cake. It is written and illustrated by Andrea Beck. Elliot bakes a cake. Elliot bakes a cake. Elliot Moose was bursting with excitement. Today was a very special day. He raced around the corner to find his friend Socks. "It's Lionel's birthday," said Elliot. "Let's bake a cake." "A cake?" cried Socks. "That's a great idea." While Socks got ready, Elliot hurried upstairs. Amy and Paisley would want to help too. "It's Lionel's birthday," he called. "Let's go bake a cake." "Oh, yes," said Amy. "Lionel needs a cake." "Oh, boy," cried Paisley. "We get to bake a cake." Elliot, Amy, and Paisley ran down to the kitchen. Socks rushed in behind them. Together, they told Beaverton their plan. "Brilliant," said Beaverton. He dug through his cupboard and pulled out a card. "Look," he said, "I have just the recipe." They quickly found everything they needed. Then Beaverton began to read the directions. "First, we separate the eggs," he said. "Separate the eggs?" said Elliot. "What does that mean?" "Oh, it's easy," laughed Socks. She got 2 teacups and put 1 egg in each teacup. And Elliot was surprised. Didn't the eggs have to be cracked open to make a cake? "Now it's time to cream the butter," said Beaverton. "Cream the butter?" asked Elliot. "How do we do that?" "Oh, it's simple," said Paisley. He dropped a big square of butter in a bowl, poured in some cream, but when they stirred, they didn't mix together. And Beaverton frowned. "Why don't you try adding some sugar?" he said. And it was Amy's turn. She added the sugar and stirred round and round and round. "Look!" yelled Socks. "It's mixing!" And Elliot smiled. "Now we're getting somewhere." "Next, we beat in the eggs," said Beaverton. "Beat the eggs?" repeated Elliot. "What does that mean?" Nobody knew. So Elliot cracked open the eggs and stirred them into a big bowl. He mixed and he mixed and he mixed. "It's starting to look a little bit like batter," declared Socks. But Elliot wasn't so sure. It looked kind of lumpy. Wasn't batter supposed to be smooth? "Time to add the milk and flour," announced Beaverton. In went the milk, in went the flour, and then Beaverton added a spoonful of baking powder. "So our cake will be nice and tall," he said. They took turns stirring until most of the lumps were gone. "It looks like proper batter now," said Paisley. "I think you're right," agreed Beaverton. Elliot and Socks poured the batter into a pan and placed it gently in the oven. Everyone gathered to watch the cake bake. "How will we know when it's done?" asked Elliot. Beaverton checked the recipe. "When we touch the middle of the cake, it will spring up," he said. "It will spring up?" Elliot was amazed. He stared eagerly through the oven window, looking for the first hint of movement. After a short while, Beaverton opened the oven and Elliot touched the cake. But it didn't spring up, it just kind of wobbled around. The next time they checked the cake, it looked just right. And when Elliot touched the middle, it didn't spring up. It didn't even quiver. So they put it back in the oven and began to make the icing. And when they were all finished, they checked the cake again. It still didn't spring up. It didn't jump up. It just kind of sat there. "This cake's not planning to move at all," declared Elliot. "And it's looking awfully dark." And Socks peered over Elliot's shoulder. "Oh, no!" she wailed. Elliot's heart sank, and he looked at Socks. Lionel's cake was burnt. The kitchen was silent. Everybody just stared at the cake. It wasn't just a little bit burnt, it was very burnt. Elliot struggled to hold back his tears. There would be no birthday cake for Lionel. After a few unhappy minutes, Elliot brightened. "We can fix it," he said. And bit by bit, he cut off the outside of the cake. "Isn't it getting kind of small?" asked Socks. "Yes, but with the burnt parts off, at least it will taste good." And then next, Elliot cut the little cake into 3 layers. Amy spread jam on 2, and Paisley covered the top with icing. "It looks great," said Elliot, "but a birthday cake should be extra special." So they got back to work and decorated the cake, and when they were done, it was the most beautiful cake they had ever seen. At last, they were ready to surprise Lionel. The 5 friends carried their cake up the stairs, one careful step at a time. They were so excited that it was hard not to giggle. "Shh," whispered Elliot. "He's gonna hear us." But Lionel was busy reading, and he did not suspect a thing. "Happy birthday, Lionel!" "Oh, my stars," gasped Lionel. "What a beautiful cake!" They all crowded around while Lionel made his wish, blew out his candles, and served the cake. There was just enough for everyone to have a teeny little piece. Said Lionel. "This is the best cake I've ever tasted." And everybody agreed. It was the best cake they had ever tasted. The end. We're going to now go make our cake together. I wonder if we'll do the same kinds of things that Lionel, Elliot, Paisley, and Beaverton and all their friends do to make the birthday cake today. So let's get baking.